1 month ago today, a 19-year-old with a military-grade weapon opened fire on innocent high schoolers and took 17 lives. Though this tragedy is one of the worst America has seen, this type of violence is too common in our country. Our generation has lost perspective in its perception of mass violence. It should not be something that happens this much, and it should not be something we have to worry about as we go to school every day. Our district has seen multiple threats to its safety just this month, and this only speaks volumes to the dangers of the gun culture in America at this time. In Florida, at the time of the shooting, there was no waiting period to purchase a gun. You only had to be 18 to purchase a gun. There was no background checks to purchase a gun. You could buy as many guns at one time as possible. A violent and mentally ill teenager legally purchased a gun and was able to use it against innocent people. A mass shooting occurs about once every day in America, and since the 1999 Columbine shooting, over 150,000 students in America have survived a mass shooting. This is unacceptable. We as a country are in a constant state of mourning, constantly grieving the loss of innocent lives, and children whose futures were taken from them, parents whose children were stolen. This issue transcends Marietta. It transcends California and even Florida. Students across the country are angry and tired of the constant violence and tragedy. It seems that after every catastrophe, the news cycle grieves the lives lost, politicians send their thoughts and prayers, and then the conversation is lost with no changes made. Not only does this desensitize us to the violence that persists, but does nothing to prevent future mass shootings. Thoughts and prayers are extremely necessary, and they're the reason we've gathered today, but they're not where the conversation should end. We are taking action as a united front to keep guns out of the hands of violent people, and that is why this mass shooting is different. When the survivors in Parkland should be at home grieving, they're fighting to make a difference where their politicians have not. That is why we're here today, to take a stand and demand that the 17 lives lost in Florida are the last 17 lives that we as a country will have to grieve in a mass shooting. We are demanding that a solution come in DC to prevent these tragedies from happening. That is our public representatives' duty to us. We gather today to honor the lives lost in Stoneman Douglas, and we gather to honor the message that the survivors are spreading, that guns have no place in our schools or in the hands of dangerous people. Please welcome Kaylee Bosna to the podium.
First, thank you all for coming. This isn't about you, and it's not about me either. This is about us. And I don't mean us as in Vista Marietta High School. I mean all of us, from Florida to California. We are here today to remember the 17 lives lost in Parkland, and their lives will not go in vain. Because today we are coming together to make a change. Today we are coming together to make our voices heard, and today we are coming together to make sure that those 17 are the last 17 to ever need a memoriam ceremony. At the start of an era that was defined by the youth, an era that would change the atmosphere of our country forever, a group of students wore black armbands to school and walked out of class to protest the Vietnam War. Many were suspended, and all were told that they could not come back to school until they took the armbands off. The students and their families, protected by the ACLU, embarked on a 4-year court battle that led to the Supreme Court case Tinker versus Des Moines, which determined that students do not shed their constitutional rights to freedom and speech expression at the schoolhouse gates. These students are the reason that we are here using our voices today. From the 7th to the 28th of March of 1965, Martin Luther King Jr. led thousands through the streets of Selma, Alabama, protesting racial inequality and injustice, ultimately leading to the complete protection of African Americans' rights to vote. Thousands of people of all different races and backgrounds come together to fight for what they believe in. They walk a total of 54 miles, and in the face of adversity, they never stopped fighting. We cannot wait for change to come. We have to force it out of the shadows. There is a new day coming, and we are the ones that are going to cast it onto the horizon. As a society, we focus so much on hatred and violence and not enough on love and passion. Our world is not perfect, and it never will be. But together we can diminish the hatred. We can calm the violence, and we can bring attention to the beauty. We need to set our differences aside and be the union our world needs us to be. The more of us that speak out, the harder it will be for them to make us quiet. The more of us that stand together, the harder it will be for them to knock us down. And the more of us that fight for change, the more change will come. So stand up, stand tall, and stand together. One voice can make a rock fall, but all of us can make an avalanche. We have to do it together. Socrates once said, "The secret to change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but building the new." We must use our histories to build a new world, a world filled with kindness and compassion. We must use the courage of our hearts and the convictions of our minds to inspire others to live with passion, to live with purpose, and to live together. We must become the leaders that we long to see. Our unity will not be to destroy others, but it will be to raise others up with us. When we stand together, we radiate hope to the hopeless. We give strength to the weak, and we inspire change to the closed-minded. No matter the colors of our skins, who we loved, or who raised us, or where we come from, all that matters is where we go from here. Where we all go from here. Thank you.